Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, bringing you another cryptocurrency video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the cryptocurrency market as a whole, but I'm mainly going to be talking about Bitcoin, and I'm going to be answering the question on a lot of people's minds, is Bitcoin dying? Now, a lot of people are concerned about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is sitting right around 50% of the all-time high. It's sitting right above some very key support, and some people are worried that it's going to break below it. A lot of people are worried about the transaction fees. There's just a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market right now, and it's not something that Bitcoin is any stranger to, and I'm going to be getting into that and a bit of a history lesson for people that are newer to cryptocurrency. And if you've been in cryptocurrency for a while like I have, you'll remember the things I'm going to talk about, and it's going to jog your memory and probably make you a little bit more confident about what we're seeing right now. But I really want to talk about just Bitcoin. Well, I want to talk about all of the cryptocurrency market, but mainly Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is, of course, the king of cryptocurrency. One thing I want to point out is that EOS right here, which I bought last night, has $3 billion in 24-hour volume. That's really good. That's a very, very good amount of volume. My last two videos have been on EOS, so hello if you're a subscriber from one of those videos. Welcome to the channel. But yeah, let's get right into the Bitcoin chart. I'm just going to do a bit of technical analysis on the Bitcoin chart because, like I said, whatever Bitcoin does, the rest of cryptocurrency is going to follow. Bitcoin is a $180 billion cryptocurrency. It's been as valuable as close to $400 billion before, so it is definitely a very important cryptocurrency to keep track of. So I have a bunch of lines here on the screen. I'm going to explain what every single one of them means. For anyone who's new here, RSI right here, this is relative strength index. This line being way up here means that the commodity, in this case Bitcoin, is overbought, which means that it's probably going to come down, and the line being down here means it's oversold, which means it's probably going to come up soon. So basically this line being down here means that we're pretty close to the bottom of this market. This line right here is a downtrend from this all-time high of 20,000. It has a touch right here. If we go into the hour chart, I'll go into 2-hour chart. If we go into the 2-hour chart, you see the other touches right there. That's basically just a downtrend, which is going to create a triangle, which is this triangle right here, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But that's the downtrend that we're in right now. If we get above that, that's going to be a really bullish sign. This uptrend right here is something I saw in Ryan Hildreth's video. Shout out to him. It's an uptrend that I didn't notice, but it's an uptrend that has a touch right down here at 3,000, which was only 3.5 months ago. For people that are new to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin's worth $3,000 less than 6 months ago. 6 months ago, it was worth about $1,800 at this pullback right back here. So it's not like cryptocurrency is anywhere near dying. It's just the percentages are bigger since the all-time high is bigger. But I'm going to be getting into that later when I talk about some history and what happened the last time that we had a long-term bear market like this. But yeah, this touch right here, this line right here has a touch right here, a touch right here, and we have a touch conveniently right here on this line. If I zoom in to the hour chart, then we can see that a little bit better. This line right here, I'm going to close that so we don't need to see that. That's not what I meant to do. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Sorry, I'm messing with my chart. Here we go. This line right here is the line I was talking about, and it has a very, very clear support right here. And these lines are just levels of support and resistance. That's very basic technical analysis for cryptocurrency and markets in general. So if you're new to cryptocurrency and markets in general, go resistance lines, it means it's hard for the market to get above it. Support lines, it means it's hard for the market to get below it. That's basically what it means. And then we also have this other line right here, which is a downtrend touching the two bottoms of the markets. And it just so happens that this market, these two line up, which it makes sense that they would because they both have the same touch. Let's move that right there. So what does this mean? I'm going to actually get rid of this line right now because it's not really important to what I'm talking about. I'm going to get rid of this one, which marks 10,000, which is a very, very important level of support. We've stayed above it on 2 occasions. We dropped below it on 1 occasion. You get rid of that so we're a little less confused. But now we're left with this nice little triangle pattern right here. This normally doesn't happen on a longer term scale, but it can. And what this means is this is a consolidation pattern. So the market is in between these two lines. It's in between this downtrend and it's in between this uptrend. And especially since this downtrend is a lot stronger, is a lot harsher than this uptrend, that probably means that we're going to break above this downtrend before we break above the uptrend. And if we look at the market here, we have about until these two lines cross about halfway through February. So before halfway through February, we're either going to see a breakup or a breakdown out of this triangle. Now, if you saw one of my other videos, I mentioned that we were either going to have a breakup or breakdown out of this triangle, and we had a breakdown out of it. I thought we'd have a breakup, but we actually didn't. But now we need to break up out of this triangle. If we break up above this triangle and get above this downtrend, the bear market's effectively over. So that's what we're looking to happen. We want to see Bitcoin get back above that. One more thing on the hour chart. we had this nice little level of support being built up here, and then we crashed right through it, which is kind of annoying. We got support right down here at 10,000, though, because 10,000 is still a very powerful psychological barrier, even though we went below it for a few hours. The other thing about cryptocurrency right now is that the entire market as a whole is still hovering right above 500 billion. 500 billion is another big psychological barrier, psychological support for people. This, well, in between these two lines right here is 500 billion, and we haven't dropped below 500 billion much. We went below it for about a day and a half, and we're sitting right above it right now. So 500 billion is another level of support for us. So I don't think we're going to go into a long-term bear market. If some of the supports that I'm talking about do fall out, those are kind of our last stops, because right now we're straddling this 100-day moving average, which is this bottom line, and a very powerful level of support for Bitcoin. If we go below that line for a prolonged period of time, then things might get a little sketchy. And if we go below this long-term trend line and we go below that 100-day moving average for a long term, that's going to be rough. But I don't think that's going to happen. So let's go into the little bit of the history lesson I want to talk about. This is an article from Forbes from about 4 months ago. This was back when China was banning cryptocurrencies, and of course lately all the news about Korea banning cryptocurrencies has been in the news. And the last time this happened, a big important trader of cryptocurrencies banning cryptocurrencies. I can't speak today. The last time a large country that traded cryptocurrencies was talking about banning a cryptocurrency, it was China. And China has probably banned cryptocurrency about 50 times by now, because China really doesn't like Bitcoin. Funny how an authoritarian regime would hate a libertarian idea such as cryptocurrency, huh? But back then, what happened with the market was, if I can zoom out here, which is actually where this uptrend started, this was the market for a long time, and we pulled back here. This is only about a two-week pullback. It wasn't that long of a pullback, but it was a very drastic pullback. This is a 40% pullback. We're sitting at about a 50% pullback right now, so these pullbacks are comparable. And Bitcoin pulled back below here, hit the 100-day, and bounced off, which is kind of what we're seeing now. Hopefully, if we bounce, then we'll see it. But what happened here is that there was a guy named Jamie Dimon, which was I think he still is the CEO of JP Morgan, and he was bashing Bitcoin, so that was all in the news and was getting people scared. And also, China was talking about banning cryptocurrencies in this time, and that news drove the price down really, really, really hard. And a lot of people were worried, because news is very, very powerful in the space of cryptocurrency, even more so than in the stock market, and that is a big level of resistance. That's a big buy wall. Look at that. That's 300 Bitcoin buy wall on 10,800. Anyway, I got off track. But news is very important in the space of cryptocurrency, because there's a lot of new investors in cryptocurrency that are scared. They get scared very easily, and if you're a new cryptocurrency investor, the number one tip that I can give you is keep your emotions out of it, and you will make so much more money if you keep your damn emotions out of your trading. You will make so much more money. I promise you, you will. Just take my advice and run with it, please. If you take your emotions out, you'll be a lot better. But the fact of the matter is, most people don't keep their emotions out of their trading, and they let their emotions dictate their trading. So when they see something like this, which says, what China banned, cryptocurrency market cap rebounding. This is actually after the market started rebounding, but there were a lot of articles talking about cryptocurrency dying because China was going to ban them, and it doesn't change anything fundamentally about the coin. Now, if you want to have a debate about the fees, then that's different, but just this news about minuscule trading partner, I think China had less than 10% of the total trading volume for Bitcoin. The news is so much more powerful than what the news is actually talking about, that when the news goes out of, when people forget about the news, then the market's going to rebound just fine, because there's nothing fundamental that's changed. And right now, there's nothing really fundamental that's changed in Bitcoin except for transaction fees. And the transaction fees are probably going to be fixed in the near-term future with the Lightning Network. Hopefully that comes out soon. The sooner the better, because I spent $15 on transaction fees yesterday when I was buying some ethos on Binance, and that was at a pretty good time for the market. Speaking of which, I can bring up the unconfirmed transactions list here. If you go to blockchain.info, then they'll show you the number of unconfirmed transactions in the mempool, so that you can keep track of that. It's something good to keep track of. This number has been up to 300,000 before. It's under 100,000, which is good for the modern era. And if you want to keep up to date with cryptocurrency, there's always a lot of good news coming out with cryptocurrency, where people are talking about different companies starting to accept Bitcoin. Don't quote me on this. I think I saw an article that was talking about Overstock. Now, Overstock's already in cryptocurrency. There's a power company in Japan that accepts Bitcoin. There's a lot of Asian countries that are really getting into cryptocurrency. Venezuela's trying to make a Petros coin, which is probably not going to go anywhere, but that shows you just how much a lot if you go on websites like this, you're going to see Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have a lot of exposure to the public, and they're just going to continue getting more mainstream. Bitcoin is nowhere near at mainstream level adoption. Bitcoin will be $100,000 before it's even anywhere near mainstream adoption. The only place you hear it talked on the mainstream media is in financial boards. When you start hearing it talked about by people that aren't economists, then we're going to see the Bitcoin price go up quite a bit, and we're going to see the Bitcoin price already be up quite a bit because that's what caused them to do that. But yeah, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are going to change the world. They're going to revolutionize the way that we do money, the way that we finance everything, the way that the world works. It's going to be akin to the Renaissance. It's going to be akin to the Enlightenment. It's going to be big, maybe not that big, but it's going to be very big. It's going to change a lot of things in the world. It's going to make plenty of people millionaires and trillionaires and billionaires and doing this. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on the market because a lot of people are scared about the market right now, and I don't think the market's going to crash. I think the market's just fine. If we do go into a long-term bear market, then don't sell. I mean, this is not financial advice. Do not take it as financial advice, but don't sell. If the market, if cryptocurrency is going to continue going up for a long time, it's going to continue going up for the next 20 years at least. And if you sell, you're going to screw yourself in the future because that could be a retirement fund. If you're worried about the money going to zero, instead of treating it as an investment, treat it as your retirement fund and forget about it. It's that simple. It's so long as you're in a coin that you think is going to last that long. Otherwise, you might want to get out. But Bitcoin is going to be around for a long time, especially if the transaction fees are fixed. And, you know, no matter what happens with cryptocurrency, even if it goes into a long-term bear market like it did, if you sell, you only lose your money, or make your money, rather, even. You only lose or make your money when you sell. So if you bought Bitcoin up here at 20,000 and you don't sell it, and you wait for 10 years, and then you sell it at 40,000, you still made money. You just had to wait a little while. So don't sell. It's not a great idea to sell in cryptocurrency. It's basically never a good idea to sell in cryptocurrency because this is a very fast-growing market. If you're going to buy, now's a great time to buy also, by the way. I'm going to be buying a lot of Bitcoin. Actually, I'm going to be buying a lot of Litecoin tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow. It'll be, I think Wednesday. I'll probably make a video about that. And anyway, guys, I've been rambling. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions about the market or any concerns, feel free to ask. And also, I wanted to show you a picture here to really emphasize and illustrate what I mean. HODL. Hold on for dear life. Hold on to her for dear life and she'll turn into her. This is Bitcoin now. This is Bitcoin in 5 years. You want her, not her. Buy her, you'll get her. That sounded wrong. Anyway, guys. I'll see you later. Have a nice one. Peace.